But if you let the weak men rule the world, it's going to go to shit. If you actually get a system
No, but here's the thing.
And that we're born to be leaders, then maybe you wouldn't see so much power corruption. But no, you give it to these weak-spined, fucking limp dick men that want to, exercise their will upon the world because they never had a chance to do it before. They're not. Yeah. They don't understand.
No, but let me push back
in
a little
any
bit.
Meaningful way. Then they get corrupted.
I think you're describing Tucker Carlson is what you're describing.
What? I'm describing Tucker Carlson.
Here's the biggest problem I'm seeing is the way that we're talking about power to begin with, the way that it's usually framed as this quantifiable reality that you have to seize and to zero something. Power is much more productive. Power is just the law of nature itself. It is the thumos that drives history and reality and all, more of a will to power idea. But more fundamentally, power is expressed with an act because it's a network of power. It's not that people is a solely oppressive force. Power is productive in that it produces the subject, produces a society.
Power is always oppressive because power uses its leverage.
No. Let me Foucault kill you for a minute.
Which eventually oppresses people.
No, that's stupid.
No, that's not. No. I'm talking of power on a more fundamental level as being a productive force. This is what I mean, because to only view power as oppressive would be to ignore the framework that power exists within.
Power always exists. It depends on where it is. Is it in a few hands or is it in many hands?
No, even within the many hands, it's always an act within.
So say power is in the hands of God. Is it necessarily oppressive? No.
No, exactly.
It depends on who's wielding the power. It doesn't matter on the power itself, right? It's like a force. Yeah. It's like you're saying, Gio. It's a law of nature.
No, but more than that, it's more so that
polarized.
Exactly. It's within a relational grid. It's within what Foucault would call a dispositif. So, for example, the prisoner has just as much within that relation as the prison guard. In that they are a.
Think of power like a gun.
The prisoner has as much power as the prison guard? Really?
Not as much power, but they exist within that framework of power. They're produced. Their subjectivity is informed and produced by that particular discourse of power, by that particular carceral regime. That's my point. But power, this is what I mean by power is productive. You're viewing it as simply this it's oppressive and you have to get rid of it. You can't get rid of power. That's a ridiculous.
Democracy is all.
This is why Charles Taylor was wrong about Foucault. This is why,
and how power is used. I mean, that's what democracy is. It's talking about who has power.
So the only thing that you can use to sort of change the polarity of power is the amount of breaks you have on it.
The problem is unaccountable elite oligarchic power that controls systems and creates systems to oppress other people.
But you don't think that democracy produces a particular subject within a framework of power that is equally, if not more, oppressive and totalitarian than even the horrors of the 20th century?
Not oppressive and totalitarian.
People are always going to be trying to gain power. So you don't believe
that power produces a certain subject within democracy that is against their own
that says we're going to go have fried chicken, and the other 9 people said, no, we want pizza, then, okay. If the one person gets their way, then that's oppressive. If the 9 people get their way, that's not oppressive. They just made a democratic decision.
No, that's tyranny of the majority.
But what if here? Wait. Listen. What if it's this? Okay.
Almost go hand in hand, do they not?
Instead of this, the 9 people, out of 10 people, 9 people want to get chicken. But instead, let's go back 40 years. 40 years ago, they planted this seed in the minds of these other 9 people that instead of getting fried chicken, what they really wanted was Burger King. And they fostered this idea over a very long period of time until when the time to pop the question came, they no longer wanted the fried chicken anymore. They all, in unanimous agreement, said, we shall get Burger King.
Okay, so
you understand... Do you understand what I'm saying? We're using this stupid analogy, but do you understand what I'm saying?
But this is the thing about modern power. It produces a certain subjectivity within a democratic framework. It produces a certain mode of being that is because power is no longer this oppressive sort of overt totalitarianism that has a power over life and death. It is it's biopower. It's control over the predicates of the subject itself. And democracy and neoliberalism and capitalism happen to go hand in hand and produce a certain subject, like Helios was saying. It produces a certain discourse that you cannot deviate from. I would argue that subjectivity is even more restrictive within our own modern, quote-unquote, liberal democracy than in any other time in human history.
I would say that it tethers very well to what Jules was attempting to say about the difference between capitalism and corporatism. It wasn't an attempt, but what he was trying to plant the seed of, which is if you have a system in which your series of choices are all actually linked to the exact same beneficiary of the spending of your capital, you don't really have freedom of capitalism. You have multiple systems that will all vie to benefit from what you see as the illusion of choice. The choice between Pepsi and Coca-Cola is not really a choice. Because when at the end of the day, both of those corporations will probably donate to the same politicians and the same political parties. When a mandate is had on the right, we don't want to be rude. When a mandate is had on the left, they want to flip the script. They want to start rotating massive social change. So they push, they squeak, and the wheel gets grease because people don't want to listen to it. They just want to sit at home and watch television. They don't want to see riots. They don't want to hear a lot of noise. And for the most part, everyone thinks things will, quote, go back to normal. While one side wants to completely upend what is considered normal, the other side says, oh, it'll change, it'll go back, it'll be okay. We just give the mouse a cookie, give the mouse another cookie, give it a glass of milk, we'll go to bed. No, the more you let the door open and open and open, the worse it's going to continue to get.
Right. I think this gets to the
way I see tyranny of the majority would be bail reform in New York City. Right. Tyranny of the majority is allowing people to get released the same day they commit assaults. I gotta
get going.
Wait, Niall, I'm sorry. Before you get going, I would love for you to address what Tim just said about that example of the tyranny of the majority. Aren't we seeing an example of it right now?
So I was going to mention, so this is at the heart of right-wing thinking. Right-wing thinking is that there are good people that are like the merit people that are like the 20%, and that there would be some nominal amount of more meritocratic people if you just had the boot on their neck a little more, right, through market forces or whatever the situation was. But that essentially the people that are shit upon and have a bad situation in society deserve it. And that we should have this kind of Darwinian selection of the great people, but their conception of who is good and who is bad, and what authority is valid and what authority is invalid, is completely, it's a fable. It's just made up bullshit, right?
How is it made up? How is it made up when you
Niall, real quick
through an objective metaphysical standard of who is right and who is wrong? This is the point, is that this is like a very 80s fucking Ronald Reagan welfare queen version of the right. The modern right wing is totally not this like capitalist monster anymore. This is like retrograde Jon Stewart, like
no, it's all the same
Reagan
shit.
thinking.
No, it's not.